Today is Valentine's Day. We're going to have a special edition of Valentine's Day. And of course, this is White Chair Talk. And I have my wonderful husband back with me.
Back.
He is
I'm
back.
And I don't have to be here. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do this on my own.
Again. He is back.
I'm back.
Today, we're gonna have some Valentine's Day questions and answers that we're both going to give. Because why? We have seen over 32 Valentine's Days together. 32, because we have been married 32 years, almost 33 years in June. And we have some things to say about Valentine's Day and what it means to us. But stick with me, because in the end, we're going to give some tips and some nuggets about how to have lasting love. So I want you to stick with me. Okay, so we're back. And again, my wonderful husband is with me on this Valentine's Day. I'm so excited because, it's sometimes lonely on White Chair Talk. I'm by myself. I usually talk to myself, and I hope someone listens. But today I have a guest. So,
Yeah, but I'm always supporting.
You're always supporting, but I need someone here
On
camera to talk to. It's so much better when you have someone to talk to. It's so much better. But so today we're going to just start my questions. And now I made up these questions, and he did not want me to read them because he usually has fresh, off the top of the dome, great answers.
I didn't say that. I just said I would rather answer. I don't want to think about them. I'd rather just answer them. They might not be great. This is what I'm.
Well, it's great to me. He has really good answers. So, but if I ask him and then I ask him again, it's going to be a different answer. Kind of the same, but not as like it was the first time. So I
want it to be authentic.
Right.
So I don't want to be, I knew the answers. I knew the questions in advance, and then I'd come up with some, whatever. So I wanted to be authentic if I'm going to be on here.
Okay. So that is why he doesn't know. Well, he might know one or two, but that's it. He doesn't know. So I'm going to start the questions. So he's going to answer, and I'm going to answer, and we're going to see. And hopefully this will help you. This will give you some good insight on how to have this sustaining relationship called marriage. Okay, so after 32 years, what does Valentine's Day mean now as opposed to what it meant 32 years ago?
That's a good question. So probably I would say 32 years ago, I didn't know what Valentine's Day meant. All I know is you were supposed to, as a guy, I got to go get some flowers. I got to go do something for you and make it look good, man. Make you feel good, but make you feel appreciated. All these things. And then the things I thought about back then was I had to not only make you feel good, but I had to make everybody else be like, oh, look what he did for her or whatever. Because it was like, that was the pressure.
The pressure.
That was the pressure you felt, right? Then I remember, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years into it, I said, man, what is this Valentine's Day about? And I looked it up, and it was like, there was a priest, priest back in check my dates now, about, I'm going to say in the 400s, like 496 or whatever. He was a martyr. He was a Christian martyr. He got killed, and the Christians decided they're going to do a feast. It moved through the years, and then the Romans adopted it. And then later on in the English, I think in England, they made it into what it is, like couples, about a love thing. And then now it went commercial, and now people generate a lot of money off Valentine's Day. But then I said, I'm not going to celebrate it that way. I just feel like I'm just going to celebrate it as a day to appreciate my wife. I'm not going to do it for anybody else. I'm just going to do what I feel like, and and do it that way so I can make it genuine instead of doing it for performance. Or, I got to buy this bag so everybody look.
Oh, right.
This thing. So now, just to give you, an example, man, we were doing big things back in the first 5-6 years, but I was struggling. I had no money, but I was making it happen. However I need to make it happen.
Yeah.
This Valentine's Day, I'm married 32 years, and man, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna chill. We're gonna dance. We're gonna eat all at home. We have a nice, quiet Valentine's Day.
Yes,
It's not gonna be for show. It's just gonna be me and you,
yes,
and that's it. Because it's about me and you. It's not about.
that's right.
It's not about the holiday and all the things or whatever. Now, of course, we're doing it on that day, but you know, that's what I think between the difference between back then and
And we always celebrate it anyway. We don't
yeah,
have to wait till Valentine's Day
right.
to do those things. That's the wonderful thing. Um, and yeah, so it's quite different. That's a very interesting story, by the way.
Yeah.
I did not know that about Valentine's Day. So
I
you
wanted to know
right, like where did
why
that
am I
come
doing
from?
this? Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense. And that's an interesting story. Of course, for the woman, we do not. I didn't. I mean, yes, I bought you like cards, and maybe I did something, but typically Valentine's Day is like the man brings the chocolate and brings the things and brings the flowers. And because you want all your friends to be like, ooh, you got this. Ooh, you got some roses.
yeah.
Ooh. So it was that type of thing. But so I don't so that's how it was for you. But for me, it was just like getting things. But I think now I look at it as just like I said, it's just a celebration of just us. And to me, it's always been that. And the
It
thing.
hasn't always been that.
I know. No, I'm saying the thing.
It's a holiday for you guys, and you are in receive mode.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. Because I'm saying the things, like say for instance,
Yeah.
back in the day, we used to buy like, well, not we, he bought me like lingerie. Lingerie is out. I don't know. Not like lingerie is out. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it could be.
I mean,
It rotates. It depends on the lingerie.
now it does depend on
Yeah,
lingerie,
so
but I'm saying you don't buy me lingerie for Valentine's Day.
no.
But that was a thing to buy. Like that was back in the day was a
Yeah.
thing to get like, oh,
The
you got
red.
the red
Yeah.
something whatever
Mm.
of lingerie, and you haven't bought me that like no, in like forever because I think it's just kind of depends.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's what it means then and what it means now. Okay, so next question: what was the first Valentine's Day? What was the first Valentine's Day like for us? Do you remember that?
Yeah. So we went back to when we first got married, and I didn't have enough money to get you a ring, so I got you a ring out of a little pawn shop.
Okay.
Got your thing. So my goal was to, hey, we got married June 19th, right? And that very next year, uh, I wanted to get you a new ring. So I did the things. I got you a new ring, and then I wanted to give it to you on Valentine's Day, and that was the first Valentine's Day.
Yes, and that's so crazy because okay, so I remember that way.
Yeah.
But I would say he did a really good job. Let me tell you, I don't know, maybe I came home from work and he had like we had a little small apartment. He had the kitchen table pushed into the living room,
Candles.
and yeah, he had candles, and he had um we ordered Applebee's. That was that was the really cool thing. You had ordered Applebee's. We both had steak and baked potatoes, something like
Maybe I
that.
didn't let him know I ordered Applebee's. I took it out, made it up
You
like I had prepared it.
okay? So you hooked it up
I
on the
hooked it
plate
up,
as
make it
if
look
he
like
made it.
as if I had done it. Yeah. So yeah.
And so, but it was so sweet. It was so sweet. And so I come home and I sit down and he's got everything set up. Everything set up. Like the table is nice, the food, everything nice. And then he had wine in a glass. And I think my ring was in the glass.
Yeah.
My ring, the new ring was in the bottom of the glass. That was a thing too.
Yeah.
That was a thing. But that was our first Valentine. Like and we really basically had $0. We had, I mean,
Oh yeah.
not much. It was just he and I, and but that's what he did, and it was really sweet. It was really sweet that doing it. So I think that's why we're kind of celebrating. We typically always celebrate. Every now and then we'll go out and do something like we went
Yeah.
to a Kim concert, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
But typically we celebrate. That was our first big one, and that was memorable. And so now we like kind of doing things just because it's about us.
Mhm.
It's the Valentine's Day is about us, and so I enjoy being in the house um, because Valentine's Day can be big crowds, and it,
Yeah,
and not
basically,
so
what
intimate.
Valentine's Day is whatever we make it at this point. Is what we do. That's what it is.
It is
It's
whatever.
not what. It's not. Hey, we got to go out here. We got to do it. If we feel like going out, we're going out. If we don't, we
Pe-
no.
Period. That's it. It's whatever you make it. If you want to go out, go out. Because there's nothing wrong with going out. Going
Oh
out is
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
But if you don't want to go out, it's also good.
If you just want to spend quality time, that's good too.
Quality time, because sometimes it's just, yeah. So that's good. I like that. Okay, so next question. Has the meaning of love changed for you or just deepened? Has the meaning of love 32 years ago, has the meaning of love changed for you or has it just deepened?
I would say I'll say it changed for me because I didn't know how. I didn't know how to love. I didn't know what that was. I didn't like I said, I had no idea what love was. I had a feeling.
Right.
I had a feeling I had what
You had an idea.
what was on TV,
Right.
what you're supposed to do and all these other things, but I didn't know. But as I grew as a man and as come to understand that, like the definition of basically love is in the Bible, right? You learn that when I first got started getting into that and just learning how to love, man. Like it says, love doesn't judge, all those things or
Yeah.
whatever. I mean, when we typically think about love, we think about all the good things that make you all, you know,
Right.
inside. But the love, love is when the hard times come.
Woo!
And the hard times come when when the rubber meets the road, man. You gotta love. That's where the love comes, man. Because you gotta love somebody to go through the things that you go through and they endure. And so, yeah.
He talking like he got experience in that, right? He talking like he has some
bit.
deep understanding in that.
Just a teeny bit. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say deepen, but you're absolutely right. That's why I love him, because he's right. Because we didn't know. We were literally, how old were you?
19.
I was 20.
Yeah.
We were young. But there's one thing I did know. And I know most people say don't do potential, but he had potential, but something more. I saw something more. And I wanted to further explore that. So, and I did not think, okay, well, in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, do I still want to, right now, do I think I still want to be with this person? Yeah. So when he asked me to marry him, I was like, yeah, okay. What?
On potential. Here's an IOU
No,
check. Here's a check. I'm gonna pay this. Look, if you
No.
just marry me now, I'm telling you, it's gonna be worth your while later on.
But it was
Yeah, I was like an IRA, like a
a very
401k.
promising one,
Yeah,
right?
like you start just put a little investment in me, and then it's gonna blow up in the end, and we're still moving towards it.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. So that's what I would say. It definitely changed. And it changed because you know why it changed too? Because as we grew, typically women always would say, you don't understand me, you don't understand me. But a lot of times women, we don't seek to understand the man. They're very simple, but yet complex. And so that's what it did for me. I changed because it changed and deepened, but I changed because I learned you. I made it intentional to learn him, and so that we could figure this out together. So that was what it was for me. Okay, so how did you realize our love was built to last? How did you realize that?
How did I realize?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the trials and tribulations we went through.
Or not how, when, I should say.
When? Well, I mean, probably about, I don't know, 5, 6 years into it that we were probably, yeah, because we had been through some things and you stuck by me. We had, it wasn't like we had a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of money or whatever thing or
Right.
anything like that. We had been through trials and tribulations and you stuck by me. The one thing you never did was you never took as a man, I was like, I was responsible for the family. I'm providing this and everything. And when that wasn't happening, you never took a shot at my dignity.
Right.
You never took me down. All you did was encourage me. So, to keep going and keep doing this thing, that you showed that you had faith in me. So that made me want to be a better man and propelled me to be better than what I was. Because without that, I would just stay down here. But with you, not taking a shot at my dignity just because I wasn't
Right.
where I wasn't where we're supposed to be at this point in time, then that allowed me to get where we need to get.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, and I also I wanted to, because when you, as Martin say, when you blow up, we all blow up. When you, I
That's
mean,
right.
when you do well, that means I do well, and I don't want to mess that up. I don't want to mess that up. I'm trying to propel us. I'm trying to encourage you by me being, cooperating with whatever you needed to do, whatever you needed, whatever he needed. I was that, and you were that for me.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, so for me. So when did that? I know I knew very early on, because you the things that we said that we were going to do.
Mm.
We were going to not, you know, get a divorce. We were going to work through it. We didn't want to see our children. Well, we didn't have children at the time, but we said when we do want have our children, we don't want them to be having to go all over the place to, come back and see us. We wanted to have we imagined our grandchildren coming back to the house and, being with us,
Mm.
and and not grandchildren going over here, grandchildren going over there. We imagine our grandchildren coming together with us. So the things that
Shout out Malaysia. Oh, anyway, so good.
and so the things that we established early on, that's when I knew that, oh, this is he's serious. And because I felt like he was all in. That was another thing. I never felt like you were, oh, maybe I made a mistake getting married. You could have thought that, but I didn't know that. But when we made set those foundational truths
Mm.
about what we wanted, that was when I knew.
Yeah.
That was when I knew. That was for me. That was when I knew
Yes.
we'll build.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I knew. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up because we don't want to be too long. So what I want to ask, um, what message would you give couples today who are waiting on lasting love? What message would you give a couple that's like, man, 30 years? That's crazy. We hear it all the time
Mm-hmm.
because, it looks so young. But we hear all the time, how did y'all do it? 30 years. What message would you give for someone who's, wanting lasting love or waiting on for lasting love?
No, I would say the number one ingredient is both of y'all got to want to be there. If you don't want to be there, if one of y'all don't want to be there, it's going to be a problem.
That's the thing.
Yeah, because everybody's, oh, you want to say it's love, it's this, it's that, and everything, and love is great. But just like I said before, we didn't really understand love. Love that we have now it has been tested, tried, and true. It's been molded into what it is now.
Mm,
When we started out, it was just some feelings and this, that, and thing. But now it's been through all the financial, all kinds of problems, all kinds of things. It's been tested, and now we have faith in it. We know that
mm.
it's withstand the test of time, right? All the weather, everything that we've been through. So I would say that you have to you have to want to be there.
Both.
Yeah, both of you got to want to be there, and if you want to be there, you will find a way to keep going because the trouble times are gonna come. I mean, I don't know a relationship where you could have a best friend. I guarantee you've had a problem with your best friend.
Yeah.
It's just look at your relationships. You've had issues in your relationships, but it stayed the test of time because you want to be in that relationship. And when somebody wants to be in a relationship and you say I want to be here, then it's gonna work out. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but if you got that, you got a fighting chance.
That's so
You got a
true.
fighting chance. But without that, yeah, because as soon as trouble comes and there's not no solid foundation, you haven't built your relationship on a solid foundation, the house is gonna fall.
And so what I think that a lot of times, I think because we got married so early, people thought we were pregnant.
Yeah, oh yeah,
They thought we were pregnant. And so
yeah.
we're like, no, we just actually love each for what we understand love to be. We really genuinely loved each other. And that has sustained us as well because we both wanted to be here. Number one, I don't want to go through what new relationships go through. I don't want to do that. I don't. Who has time for that? Right? So we want to make this last because who has time? And so I believe that to have the lasting, if you have a question about, does my relationship or is my relationship lasting? For me, it's about the decision for both to want to be here. And because a lot of times we get into emotions, and when you get love, you think it's all emotional. And sometimes when you're young, you think that's what it is, but it goes way beyond being emotional. It is a actionable decision. Like, make the decision. I want to be here every day. I want to make this work out every day. And it's not something that you just a feeling, because how many times we've been mad at each other?
Million.
Okay. But that don't mean I want to walk out.
Right.
I mean, mad, shouting mad, right? But I still made the decision that don't mean anything. I want to be here and I want you to be here with me. And he wants me. So it can't be just an emotion. It's got to be a decision that you make that this is where I'm planted and this is where I want to grow. But it definitely starts with being both of you. You have to forgive quickly. Holding on and grudges, I think that's going to damage the decision when you're not forgiving quickly. You got to be willing. You got to decide to grow, decide to mature. Because again, we were married at 19 and 20 years old, so I made the decision okay, we're not the same. We're not the same people. We decided, oh, okay, I'm growing in this moment. I'm maturing. When he matures, I'm growing up. So maybe some area in my life where I was not whatever, or he was doing that. If he decided to mature, I said, I'm coming up with him. Or if I'm matured in an area of our relationship, just by me being the mature person, you know what? He came along. So, and that all comes from wanting to be there and then the decision to say, this is what we're going to do. So I think that sums it up for me when it comes to having a lasting relationship. So if you're, if you're 10 years in or whatever, you think, man, can we make it that long? Yes, you can make it that long when you both want to be there and you make that decision to say, I'm going to do it. Whatever that decision looks like, whether it looks like counseling, or if it looks like talking to your pastor or whatever the decision looks like, you make the decision. Decision for us was all the things. We did all the things because we said it from way back when that this is what we wanted. We wanted to stay together no matter what. So happy Valentine's Day. And thank you so much for being on my show again.
Yeah, couldn't wait.
And I want you to be the best, the very best version of yourself that you can be. And until next time, bye.